Hi, very good morning, and I welcome all the audience to 23rd World Education Summit Higher Education. It's a 3 days event, and we are on our first presentation that is on blending new age online programs in universities for better employability. To share his initiatives and the innovation, I would like to invite Mr. Amit Mahenzariya, CEO, Upgrad Campus. I would like to welcome Amit sir to be on the stage of World Education Summit. And I request all my audience, Amit sir is going to share the innovation done by the Upgrade Campus. So if you have any questions in your mind, please put your questions in the Q&A box or the chatter box. We will take it live, Amit sir. So by this, I will hand over this virtual dice to Amit sir to share the innovations and the initiatives that was taken by Upgrade Campus to highlight the higher education domain. Over to you, Amit sir.
Sure. Thanks, Abhishek. It's my pleasure to be part of this summit and to be part of such a August gathering. In fact, what I'm trying to do is I'll talk briefly about what are some of the challenges that we are facing and what are some of the solutions that we are looking from a perspective of new age online programs in universities. I think everyone can see my screen also. So this is a long topic that I've chosen. Blending new age online programs in universities for better employability. Each word I think is very important. First, I'd like to start why blending. I think universities are temples of learning. I don't think any industry or any edtech company can replace it. If as a edtech company you need to make change in education, if you need to educate students, you need to partner with universities who've been there for multiple decades and understand students better than no one. So that's the reason of blending. I'll later talk about what are the each of these words mean. New age online programs, why is it needed? I also understand industry or educational institutions are slightly apprehensive of online. It's a good word, everyone is talking about online, but how can online supplement a physical education? That's something that I personally strongly believe in. So what I'll do is I'll start with my presentation, and I'll talk very briefly about Upgrad in a couple of slides, not spending too much time, but talking about the problem at hand more. So Upgrad is founded by Ronnie Screwvala, 2015, leading higher education brand, one of the best corporate training programs. Upgrad Campus is a 100% subsidiary of Upgrad, focused solely on college education, university education, because it's very different from working professionals training. We have been in the business for past 7 years and affecting lot of students, 2 million plus students, 20 million hours of content. But the most important takeaway from this slide is Upgrad has built a quality which is known in the industry as Upgrad quality. We don't ever compromise on the content quality or on the delivery quality, and that's also visible in terms of ratings, student ratings, learner ratings, and the salaries and the packages that are received by our learners. And every number that I'm quoting about is from students, college students, freshers. Again, just I'll give a very brief. Ronnie Screwvala, people know him as a serial entrepreneur in the country. He's the founder of Grad. I'll give a brief background about myself to set the context from where I am coming from, what are my strong areas, and which are the areas I am not very equipped. First, in fact, I was a investor and a venture capitalist in investing into education sector. So as a VC investor, I had a third eye view of the education sector. Then later, sometime in 2011, I started my first startup in education sector, in higher education sector. Worked hard on it for 2 years, built beautiful solutions, but failed miserably. And the learning that I got was I was keeping tech ahead of education. And then I realized if I need to make an impact in education, I need to understand education and keep education or learning before tech. And that's my second startup, which started in 2013, which has been really making an impact. And since then, we are making an impact on how students learn. Just a disclaimer, I personally have never taught before. So my understanding would be interacting with lakhs of students who are on our platform, interacting with thousands of teachers, industry professionals, how they teach. That's my understanding, which I'm trying to make an impact. We have close to 300 plus universities, lot of leading name, IIT Delhi, IIM Bangalore, VIT Vellore, Galgotia's University, lovely professional Manipal, BITS Pilani, who have partnered with Upgrad Campus as they see value in how we are letting them lead into the future of education. Now I'll start my presentation. First of all, when I interact with universities as well as industry, these are the four core problems that I understand are being faced by universities. And I'm focusing on a very niche field with respect to employability. Everyone would be hearing about it, that some studies say 80% of the Indian students are unemployable. Some say, in fact, a recent Google studies report said 93% of the Indian students need upskilling before they become employable in the industry. So there are various numbers being thrown about. And one of the things that we are very particular, which is a mission of Upgrad Campus, is how do we solve this problem? How do we actually ensure that the capability of students is met and they become better employability? It's not just getting a checkbox and getting a job, but they should be getting relevant jobs or better jobs. And for that, we are looking to partner with universities. And some of the understanding is one, and all of these are known things, but I'll elaborate a bit on this thing. First, unlike 10 years back, current industry trends are very fast. In fact, in digital marketing, the performance marketing tricks that are being used today would become irrelevant 3 months later. The IoT is a field which is changing over quarters. The new age technology like React and others are coming into things. So there are a lot of industry relevant new age courses which is not possible for a university to incorporate in their university curriculum. So that's one problem. Second is industry interaction. I see a lot of people actually have some amount of industry interaction, but it's not a coherent strategy. We want actual working professionals teaching in colleges. Third biggest problem that we see, and all of these, when we interact with employers, they cite them, is simulated trainings. Projects which are real life projects, case studies which are real life case studies. And last, which is soft skills, we sometimes underestimate the power of storytelling or how do students present themselves. In most of the jobs, even in tech jobs or engineering jobs, we see if a student is able to tell his or her strengths, is able to showcase the aptitude that they are having, is very important. So these are the four problems that we have identified, and universities also in some way identify them. Now the biggest thing that universities will have to realize, and they have to understand, that the future is changing. There are a lot of new age universities that are coming. There are a lot of universities which are actually started this journey 3 years back, where they are not doing bringing in industry professionals to teach, but actually they are integrating with industries. I think this is a must have. Universities can't shy away with the fact that they can't continue to teach in the manner that they've been teaching, let's say pre-pandemic. Pandemic, though, has been negative, it has brought online learning into picture. It has brought industry in closer collaboration with universities. So in integration with industries, again, four things that I talk about, all of them are the problem areas that were earlier. How do you actually onboard industry? How do you just not call industry professionals to teach, but actually integrate them into your curriculum? So that's one, which is my most important thing. Don't just think of teaching industry case studies, but integrate your curriculum with the industry. Second is give more options and flexibility to the students. I was in a seminar speaking at IIM Bangalore on future of learning. And one thing which my panelists, everyone agreed is that the future of learning is going to shift. The power of learning is going to shift from universities to students. Today's students want more flexibility. They want flexibility in terms of syllabus. They don't only want, let's say, computer science engineering. They might want cyber security specialization. They might want artificial intelligence specialization. A mechanical engineering student would want robotics specialization. So give them lot of options and flexibility. They want options and flexibility also in terms of mode of learning. Some would want live learning, some would want online learning. So that is also important. So these are the two key things that universities will have to adopt: integrate with industries, and second, always think how you can give more flexibility to the students. And you'll be surprised by the way they'll choose this, the way different students would choose different career choices, different types, different paths. And last is, for doing this you can do a lot of things. You can tie up with lot of short term course provider, again, who have a deep industry connect. You can launch joint degree programs. In fact, some of the universities like VIT Vellore has around 5 or 6 programs in computer science engineering. Many universities we have partnered with have launched 3 or 4 programs in one particular stream, let's say mechanical engineering or MBA. So those are the kind of things that you'll have to do: long-term joint programs or short-term interventions. And my suggestion would be, at least start with few initiatives till you find your sweet spot. Don't delay this thing. Most of the universities I talk to tell, hey, we realize the importance, but we don't have the capability. We would delay it to the next year or next semester. My take is, start small, start with something, at least see the benefit, see how your students' placements improve and their ratings improve, and then you can find your sweet spot. And this is my last slide, talking about some of the things that we do at Upgrad Campus. And this is the culmination of lot of efforts, lot of research, as well as working with partner universities to realize why this is a good starting point for universities. And each of the points we have actually perfected to make an impact. First, we have lot of specializations, which is in each of the field. Our specialization is on the new age courses. Our idea is core courses can be best taught by universities. You have the best faculty, you have the best understanding of students. So we only focus, Upgrad Campus only focus on industry ready, industry relevant courses which would get students better job. The holy grail for us is, how do students get better jobs, not a routine jobs of, let's say, selling insurance or those things into if an engineer is doing that, that means it's not a relevant job. So specialization is one thing. Second, at Upgrad Campus, we have taken a conscious decision to follow the path of blended. We mix all our courses with physical and online. It's not pure online. In fact, most of our joint degree programs which we do, there are physical in classroom teaching assistants present, and the working professionals from top-notch companies like Google or Amazon or others would be teaching online. So it's a mix of physical and online. Our programs are both long duration as well as short duration. And one thing which is very important for us is, we don't hire industry experts. None of the industry experts are on our payroll. Earlier we used to do, and we've learned it the hard way, that you can't have people on roles into a university or a edtech company and teach, because 6 months later they'll be away from the ground reality. So we have changed our business model to a complete, all our industry experts are working professionals. We actually take them and use them for teaching. Our teaching methodology is personalized. There's a good amount of mentorship. Every student would have a mentor, a student success manager. We do industry projects, real life industry projects which students work on. And last, not the least, career training. I think this is something which people have ignored: the soft skills training and career training. We have a dedicated team of around 30 people just working on this piece. How do we actually ensure that students, whatever they are learning in their 2 years or 4 years or in their short term programs, they are able to showcase it in their interviews? Because at the end, when we talk to students, they are not only interested in learning, they are interested in better jobs. And for that, Upgrad has also an in-house placement team. They have acquired a company, Recruit, which is a large team just focused on sole objective of how do we get freshers placed in product companies, in better companies. So I'll skip this slide. I've already talked about it. We do placement assistance, industry relevant curriculum. It helps all our partner universities, and we have a lot of case studies in improved NIRF ranking, NBA accreditations, NAC gradings. Every universities which have partnered have seen this. And we work with universities for a joint branding, where universities are able to attract better admission through branding. In the interest of time, I'll pause so that we have 5 minutes left for Q&A.
Thank you. Thank you, Amit ji. And we have certain questions from the audience side. So I request Amit ji, if you want to take it live, we can
Yes,
do it
yes.
right
Since
now.
we
If
have
you want
five
to take
minutes, I'll take a couple of questions.
Sure.
So, first question is, what are the challenges for blended and e-learning adaptation in higher education? In fact, since I've been in this sector working on e-learning side for past now 15 years, one of the major thing is, I think, is many people start with a very ambitious goal. People have to start with smaller goals. The biggest challenge is the faculty is not trained in e-learning or online teaching. And we did a survey where we actually find out before the pandemic, around 84% of the faculty were first time online teachers. And that was a large number. So what universities need to do is actually start small, start a mix of blended, don't move to complete online. Later, let's say 5 years down the line, your goal would be to launch at least one or two online courses. To start with, universities should adopt blended learning, which is a mix of online and offline. The core courses, core teachers can continue to teach offline, where some amount of working professionals or some amount of teachers can start teaching blended, where online delivery is happening. There's a teaching assistant in class. So I think this is the biggest challenge that can be solved through a blended approach. Second question that I'll talk about is, can you elaborate on short-term courses? Is it impactful? I think the short answer is no. You can't just bring one short-term course, teach a student for 4 months, and assume that he's better placed. But what it does is sometimes short-term courses actually exposes the student towards what is happening in the industry. And if a short-term course is practical oriented, where student is working on a live industry project, I think that gives them a lot of exposure. So I'll give you an example. Let's say if someone is doing a whole computer science engineering, a short-term course about cyber security or ethical hacking would actually expose to students what is happening in that field, and that will give the student flexibility and option to choose. So I think that those are some of the benefits. Then there's a question, as a college, why can't we call the industry professionals for timely delivery or seminars? And would it be sufficient? I think universities are already doing that. They are calling industry professionals. I don't think universities are just glaring at the problem. They've taken a lot of steps. But I think there's a very fine difference between it. I'll elaborate what I mean. Industry professionals are not necessarily great teachers. University industry professionals are not necessarily have the structure to teach a content. They require a lot of hand holding and a structured approach if an industry professional need to teach a course. So what is actually required is it becomes a coherent guest lecture where students attend, they'll remember few trivias, but they'll not really be prepared. What is required is think about your whole course curriculum design, particular course curriculum designed by an industry professional and a professor and a subject matter expert, and then intervene industry professional into it. So instead of just calling them and teaching or taking seminars, it's more important that they are a coherent part of teaching of a course, which in fact we have learned it the hard way. Instead of calling an industry professional and asking him to take 10 lectures, we actually train them into a structured flow. We ask them that this is the complete flow and convert an industry professional into a course curriculum deliverer. And last question is, yeah, sorry.
Is on the So we have some more questions, Amit sir. So due to lack of time, we will email that question. If it seems worthy, Amit sir, you can do the word. And I request all my audience, we have Upgrade Campus team at our exhibition booth also. If you have any query regarding the product, regarding the solution, how you can implement this solution in your campus, please do contact the Upgrade Campus team. We have Akash, we have Dipanshu, we have Priyanka in this team, and you
Right.
can also write at education@digitallearning.in if you want to connect to Upgrade Campus. So by this, I would like to thanks Amit sir to give us his previous precious time to us for enhancing and acknowledging regarding the Upgrade Campus initiatives. So I would like to request Deepak to please share token of appreciation. This is the speaker certificate given to Amit Mahenseria, CEO, Upgrade Campus. Thank you, Amit sir. Thank you very much for
Thanks.
giving your
Thanks.
precious time to
Thanks,
us.
Abhishek.
And I
Appreciate,
would like
appreciate it. And it'll be my pleasure. And anyone who needs more information about the case studies and the work that we are doing with partner universities, we would be more than happy to reach out to you and give you small case studies of the work that we are doing. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
thanks, Amit sir. So I request audience to please stay tuned. We are moving to the next session, and please visit the booth of Upgrade Campus to know more regarding the initiatives taken care by the Amit sir. Thanks, Amit sir. Thank you very much. Namaskar, sir.